Hello again. A question was asked about the top band and what should we use for it. Good question. I'll start with the what I believe is the oldest, the most traditional, and that's the particular shade of green. And it may not show up accurately. The color values may not show up accurately in this video, but it's a rather virulent green. Cloth tape, 7/8 inches wide, and we see this from about 1850. In fact, we see it on so many things. We see it as rosettes on the other ranks, tartan fall. We see it as the top banding on the kilt. We see it elsewhere. That I wonder if this stuff had been supplied to quartermasters and possibly to some military contract tailors as just a general binding tape. And the reason why I think that is because, again, we see it all over the place on many garments, but it's also not quite wide enough. It's 7/8 of an inch wide, and it's to me at least, it's a bit of a struggle to use this stuff because it's a bit narrow. So I've been using, and this stuff's available. I will put a link to William Booth, the supplier that makes a very, very good modern replica of this stuff. And it's reasonably priced. So the most, after this, I think the most, we see this on military kilts. After this, what we most often see is a tartan top band. And I generally rip it to 2 inches. So we wind up with the selvage edge, the lesser of the two selvage edges from the single width piece, and a raw edge. And I put the raw edge, fold it under and sew it, which I believe I've shown elsewhere. And if I haven't, I'll show a video on how to do it. The tartan top band is popular. It's a bit time consuming. If you're doing army contract kilts and you're really trying to get them out the door, this, I think, is a needless complication, a needless expense, because frankly, the only way to do it is to do it right. And doing it right isn't the same as doing it fast with this stuff. The next, most often I use a tartan top band because I've got this leftover strip of cloth when I've reduced in most instances, I have a leftover strip of cloth unless the customer is exceptionally tall. The other two choices, or the other choice really, is a suitably colored woven top band. And again, if you go to Booth's website and take a look, you'll find several examples. The stuff that I'm going through right now, in fact, is it's rather heavy, but it's got an excellent selvage edge on both sides. And it's the stuff that's been produced for making garter knots for hose. But frankly, I don't make many of those things, and I've got buckets of this stuff, so that's what I'm using right now. And to that end, it doesn't have to match, right? It doesn't have to be a perfect match, but it should complement it. So if you can put some colors together and hopefully it'll just grip you and go, oh, I like that, I'm going to do that. But yeah, there we go. The old traditional, which is not quite wide enough. These woven bands, which are absolutely first rate, and they're like 1.5 inches wide, which is a great width to use, or the tartan band, which we make ourselves from the top discarded piece, and again, that's usually 1.5 to 2 inches. So there we go.